What's going on? It's a fine day and we're in North London with one of the most beautiful, let me just say that one more time. One of the most beautiful. Her name is Hazel and she is a fashion designer and her brand is called Aggrey-Orleans. How are you doing, Hazel?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us at Ushine Ishine today. Now, not only did your beauty, but your talent caught me. Please let me know, tell us a little bit about your fashion and where you started from.
The label is called Aggrey-Orleans and it started in 2007. It was actually when I was pregnant with my first child. I realized I was working in banking and I realized I knew I couldn't do this for the rest of my life. I needed to find something that I was passionate about. And I'm of mixed heritage, so I thought what would be great to mix two cultures together. So I started with scarves. And I started creating scarves that brought in the Africanness and the Asian. And for me, those are two cultures that play beautifully with color. And so we did scarves. But then in 2009, again, when I was pregnant with my second child, I realized I need to take this to another level. What can I do? And so I decided as well, if I'm going to the fashion industry with full force, I need to do something that's a little bit unique, something a bit different. And so I thought, why don't I love African prints, but I haven't yet seen it on silk fabrics.
Yes.
So what we decided to do is just get inspiration from Ankara fabrics, which are sold worldwide sold in Africa. And just use inspiration from that, and also inspiration from my childhood growing up in Nigeria.
Oh, you grew up in Nigeria?
Yes.
She's our Nigerian sister. We are one. Keep on talking.
Yeah, so it's basically taking inspiration from growing up as a child in Nigeria and then putting those memories and those inspirations onto silk. And it just creates a beautiful flow because you have this luxurious silk fabrics and you have your Africanness, but you yet have that luxurious silk. And for me, again, I'm all about mixed heritage, and those for me is mixing those two things together. And so it's designing those fabrics, and then which led into designing collections.
Collections.
Yes.
Now let's talk about those collections. She has one of her beautiful prints on now. With I can feel the culture and the inspiration, and I love the connection of when you were pregnant, starting new life. It was like starting a new beginning. And let's just say, for all the young mothers out there, never ever stop. Just because you're a mother, there is so much you can do. So she is a lead example of that. So thank you for that. So let's talk about these collections. What's coming up? What have you done before? What are you growing on? What's new?
Well, the collection that I've just showcased is the Autumn Winter 2012, and that's one of the pieces I'm wearing. And this was inspired, it's called Nostalgia. So for me, with this one, I really wanted to take it back home again. And this was, Nostalgia is about reminiscing about the music, the African music. And so I took one of the instruments, which is a calabash.
A calabash.
Calabash.
Yes.
And the calabash can be used for different things, but also for music. So for me, it is you can see here the shapes of the calabash.
Yes.
So this is the shapes of the calabash.
Wow.
And then one of the other prints is basically, you see movement in it. So for me, it's just the dancing, the music of Africa, and that is bringing in the colors. It's quite an African feel. This is probably my most African fabrics or feel to it I've done, and that is the latest collection I've just showcased just in Paris during Paris
wow,
Fashion Week.
okay.
And then in Nigeria.
So proper international
yes.
showcasing.
Yeah.
And I love that you're making sure that it's about the African music, because Afrobeat's so big now as well, all over the world. So I love the way you've incorporated that into style and the essence of African people. How was it in Nigeria when you went over there and showed them your fineness?
When we went, it was great. Going back home is always fantastic. It's just like when you land in Nigeria, land on the soil, I feel like I'm home.
Oh, wow.
And it's just great to be part of such a huge fashion show. And what they're trying to do is obviously create, you have your New York, London, Milan, Paris, and then it's sort of leading into why not have a Lagos one? And so that is the aim of the Arise Fashion Week, and to be part of that was fantastic, and to network, meet the other designers, meet the huge amount of press that was there. So for me, that is just showing your face, showing that you're being in the press, bringing the limelight, and just pushing the brand. So for me, that was very important.
I know.
Yeah.
So where does this all come from? You know, every day, because it's not easy when you're following your passion. Tell us about that. What invigorates you? What gives you the energy?
What gives me energy is my kids.
Yes.
My kids are, if I didn't have my kids, I don't think I'd be as passionate. For me, it is trying to have something that they can aspire to as well, and to show them that this is something that they can do as well. And hopefully give this to my daughter, because I know my daughter already loves, wants to be at every fashion show I am at, and give this to her as well. And it's just, I guess my kids inspire me. It's just an inspiration that comes from having it. I can't explain it, but once you have kids, you get a certain inspiration, and you just know that you can't do something that you don't 100% enjoy. And I knew banking wasn't. Yes, it pays the bills, but it wasn't passionate. It's just a job you go to day in, day out. And I just knew I had to find something that I love. And for me, it was, fashion, and then my kids are the ones that drive me, because starting your own business is the toughest thing
you want to tell you about it. It's one of the toughest things.
And just being at the catwalk is like 2% of what actually is behind a label. Yes. There's so much that is behind label. That bit is just like a minority. So there's so much that you have to keep thinking, being inspired. There's marketing, there's PR, there's admin. There's so much behind creating a label. Like, you just have to be 100% inspired, and because there will be so many doors that close in front of you.
But you'll hear the slam so hard it will shake you.
But you just pick yourself up and just continue. And it's just, for me, I never know how I'm going to get to where I need to go, but I just take one step at a time, and somehow I get there. And that for me is just, I just continue going like that.
Definitely. And were there any childhood inspirations in fashion that you had? Because I know when I was growing up, Vivienne Westwood meant everything to me. Just the way that she put herself together, or just people in the street. You grew up in Nigeria. Was it aunties or uncles and the materials that they wore?
I think for me it's the materials, because the label is all about the fabrics. That is probably our strongest point. Yes. And for me, it's just, I love the intricate patterns that you see on Ankara fabrics, and I love color.
Yes.
Like, you will not see, I have one black piece, but that's about it. Everything else is about color. Yes. And even in the autumn winter, it's color. And what, again, in African culture, it's all about color. Yes. And that is something that inspired me.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And so what would you say also to young, or just anybody who wants to get into fashion? What would be that key advice for them to say, all right, this is it, I'm off?
What is the key advice for anyone who goes to fashion? It's a really tough industry.
Yes.
But you have to be passionate, and you have to live and breathe it, and you have to just think about it constantly to push, and you have to have a unique selling point, I feel. If you have to have something, because there's so much competition in fashion, you have to have something that makes you stand out. About bringing something that's personal to you and interpreting it, bringing it into your line, but you have to have some strong point, whether it be your cuts or your fabric, something. And you just have to keep going. There'll be a lot of downsides or down moments.
Yeah.
But as long as you believe 100% in it, you just pick yourself up and go. But you have to see a growth. If there's no growth and no recognition, I guess at some point you have to think, am I doing the right thing? But if you can feel that there's more press and there's more interest, and you know you're going down the right route, and just continue. But don't expect to sell after the first collection. It can take... Yes. It can take it, but as long as you see a progress, and you know you're going down the right route. But you also have to make sure you have enough funding.
Funding is everything.
Funding for fashion is right, because you put out these labels, you put out the collection. If you don't necessarily sell, you have to do another collection.
Yes.
So you have to make sure you have funding.
Definitely. And what about getting your message out there? Because I've seen you all over the place. I even saw that you did a CNN piece. How does that happen? How do you go about generating interest? Is it social networks, send to friends?
I guess social networking is huge. So Facebook, Twittering, blogging, that is a big thing. And then you send out press release, and then you have to do fashion shows. People have to see the person behind, because you buy into the person behind the brand. And then I guess after a while, people will start reaching out to you. You reach out to them initially. You send them emails, you call them emails, and then at some point when they see you again and again, like, this girl is not leaving.
No, she's not leaving. That's what they know about you. Hey, go nowhere.
Okay, well, let's see what she's about. Let's contact her. And then the doors will start opening, and they will start contacting you.
Definitely.
And that's when you know, okay, you're doing something right.
Yeah, you're doing something right. I know you're doing something right. You're doing all the right things. What are your hopes and dreams for the future of your brand, for Eki, even just for yourself really? What are those things that you think, right, that's what I want for myself in the coming years and beyond?
Well, I'd like to be, I mean, my dreams are to be stocked in fantastic, great shops worldwide.
Yes.
And also be known. For me, Africa is very important. I know in Nigeria, I feel that my brand is getting established there, but there's so many other countries within Africa that I still need to push. And for me, being known in Africa is very important.
Very important.
And I'd like to be known for my fabrics and just to, I guess, to keep climbing the ladder, knowing that people that buy my stuff actually enjoy the experience of wearing the dresses. Because I've had comments that when I wear one of your dresses, I automatically know that I will become the center of attention.
Oh wow! Okay, you need to get me one of them.
Because Eki actually means center of attraction.
Oh.
And so for me, there's nothing nicer than having a client come back to you and telling me that they know ultimately that when they wear that dress, they will get a lot of attention.
Yes.
And it's having repeat orders from the same clients,
Yes.
knowing that, okay, there must be something good about it. I just want people to feel good in the dresses and to capture as I said, the African market and be stocked in great shops in Europe and worldwide. Yeah.
Right, and I'm sure, Hazel,
Yeah.
that all your dreams will come true. So make sure that you pay attention. You get one of the outfits so it makes you feel like the center of attention. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank
Tell
you.
them about the name again. Eki.
Aggrey-Orleans.
Hey, you heard it here first. Have a great day, everybody. You shine, I shine.